in like manner, in a parallel way, it's not about seeking popularity. The prophets were rejected. You read Jeremiah, and it's just, you read the book of Jeremiah and you get down to the final chapters after the city has been sacked and there's just a few remnants left. Nobody listened to his ministry. Nobody responded to him. He was tossed into a muddy cistern for a while because they were trying to silence him. And even after all of that, all of his prophecies came true and people were seeing it lived out as people were carried into exile, even the tiny, tiny remnant rejected Jeremiah, went down to Egypt despite his warnings that they should not do so. All kinds of other manner of rejection of his ministry. Jeremiah must have been the most unpopular man among the people of the outward people of God at that time. He wasn't popular. He had no fruit to his ministry, visible fruit at the time. And yet here we pick up our Bible. I happen to have my Bible open to Jeremiah providentially. I didn't plan it that way. Here we have 52 chapters of his ministry recorded for us 2,500 years after the fact. It's not about popularity in the moment. You can't measure a life, a ministry, a church by the way that it's responded to in the moment. God is working out a purpose that he established before the beginning of time, that is working out over the course of millennia of the history of man, which will echo in its reverberations and implications throughout all of eternity. We can't measure life we can't measure anything by what's happening in the moment. If you do that, if you applied that as the measure by which a man's godliness or ministry or a life of faithfulness was being measured, you'd reject Jeremiah, you'd reject Jesus, you would reject Paul. Now, we just have to get beyond our ungodly, worldly way of viewing things and start to think biblically.